Hey, wait, are you the guy from the video, like the YouTube videos?
Probably, yeah.
Like the ones that are about how to play certain classes?
Yep, I'm working on the bard right now.
Well, I can't wait to see that video come out.
Awesome. That's good to hear. That'll keep me
You're doing a
going.
great job.
Thanks, man.
Well, we're heading to reinforce so we can get all the pieces of wood.
Well, have fun, dude.
Keep making those videos. Everybody
yeah.
likes those.
Yeah, thanks.
See ya.
I learned how to play Scoundrel from you.
Welcome back for another Orbus guide. Today we will be going over the Bard class and how it all works. As always, check the description and comments for updates and new information. And if you enjoy the video, please subscribe. The road to monetization is long, and I need your help getting there so I can continue this as a career. If you're interested in joining the singing Bard community, my first volume of Bard songs is available now. So let's jump in and make some music. So first, let's take a look at our class item, the xylophone. As you know, you'll be hitting notes constantly, so here are some of the mechanics to be aware of. The keys can be hit from any direction, but are best hit softly or passed through back and forth. You can miss as many notes as you want, as it won't affect any of your songs, but when you do hit one, it will emit a burst of light to show you that you hit it. To start playing, you'll need to activate some instruments. Place them in your hotbar in the order you like, then put the mallet inside the orb to activate it. To deactivate it, hold the mallet inside for a moment and lift up. It gets buggy sometimes, so I always use both mallets, and it almost always works. You can have 3 instruments up at once, but it's worth noting that if you try to activate a 4th instrument, it will always move the red orb, which is always the first orb that you activate. This means when setting up instruments, put the one most likely to need changed with the red orb. That way you don't lose other crescendos if you need a new instrument. Your mallets can also be used to attack, and will very briefly interrupt the enemy as well. Grip and release while throwing to deal a small amount of damage. They take 3 seconds to respawn after throwing, and only one mallet can hurt an enemy before the cooldown is over. If you're an aspiring battle bard, you can use this as a constant offhand attack every few seconds while you play with your main hand. The blue bar for this class will fill slowly as you play notes. It takes roughly 9 or 10 notes to fill the bar, depending on the speed of your songs. It will deplete within 13 seconds after ceasing to play. What this bar does is boost all of your instruments' passives as well as crescendos. Always keep this full, as it nearly doubles all of your effects, including damage and healing. After playing a couple notes, the instruments will flash to show that the passive has been activated for 10 meters around you. It is very important to know who this affects though. If you're in a party, only your party will receive your buffs. If not in a party, then your buffs will affect everyone, unless you are in PvP, as only you will be affected. So now for the butter of the class, the crescendos. After hitting 12 notes, the corresponding instrument will begin glowing. If you hit the instrument now, it will release its full potential and grant you more power to heal and hurt. Always be sure to make sure the blue bar is filled when you use these. What? As for supers, I definitely enjoy this one the most. When activated, all players or your party in range will gain a 20% damage boost for 12 seconds. 15 if you use the inspiration crescendo. Okay, so it's time to explain how each instrument really works. Let's start with the fastest songs and go from there. First we have the instrument of defense. This song will take 15 seconds to play, 13 if you use the upbeat talent. The passive for this instrument will lower the damage of enemy projectiles by a very small percentage, but the crescendo will remove a buff from all nearby enemies. Next we have the instrument of Cure Wounds. This one takes 18 seconds, 16 with upbeat. The passive will increase healing received from all sources by 5%, and the crescendo will greatly heal the lowest health ally. It is worth knowing that this does not mean the lowest health bar, but it means the lowest health points. This crescendo bolt can reach 15 meters. Next is the instrument of Harm. This one takes 18 seconds as well, 16 with upbeat. This is the first of the 2 damage instruments, and will passively damage enemies around you that you are in combat with. Crescendoing this instrument will send out a single bolt that wiggles back and forth as it goes away from you, and this will only hit one enemy. This crescendo and the Justice crescendo will briefly stun the enemy as well. The Instrument of Justice takes 22 seconds to play, 20 with Upbeat. Much like the Instrument of Harm, this will damage enemies the same amount, but instead of just hurting them, it will send out a bolt that will go straight out for a bit, and then make a single orbit, hitting any enemy it touches. This can put you into combat if it hits another enemy. The crescendo for this instrument is a little wonky, as much like the Instrument of Harm, it will send out wiggle bolts, 5 of them, but so far I have only managed to get 2 or 3 of them to actually damage the same enemy. These can miss very easily, so take care of what is behind your enemy. The Instrument of Protection takes 22 seconds, 20 with Upbeat. This passive will lower damage over time effects by a very small percentage, but the crescendo will remove poison, affliction, and other debuffs, but not most special debuffs like impending doom and other boss debuffs. The Instrument of Gentle Healing takes 23 seconds, 21 with Upbeat, and will passively heal allies every 3 seconds for a small amount. The crescendo will send out 3 smart bolts that give a small heal to the lowest health allies. These bolts also go 15 meters. The Instrument of Speed. This passive will increase your teleport movement speed by 10%. So if you would like faster smooth locomotion, you can always move faster while carrying less than 9 kilograms in your backpack. Its crescendo will fill up you and your allies' stamina bar, allowing them to move more in battle, but I haven't found this very useful as most people just stand still until they need their stamina. And the last and longest song is from the Instrument of Inspiration. This one takes 28 seconds, 25 with Upbeat, and passively increases Wisdom by 150. This means you and your teammates will get a very slight super passive charge increase. The crescendo for this instrument will add about 25% to the charge of supers that are already in use, making them last longer. You can use this on your own super, or correlate with your team, but make sure the super bar is at least down to 75%, so that it will give its full effect. Okay, so let's take a look at the talents for the Bard class. At level 5, you can choose Acoustic Power. This will increase the range of your Smart Heal bolts by 10 meters, from 15 meters to 25. On the other hand, Reverberate will increase the range of your passive effects by 5 meters, from 10 to 15 meters. While both of these are helpful, I do recommend Reverberate because it will bring the passive range up to the same as the Crescendo bolt's range. That way you'll always be able to use both without worry of range requirements. At level 10 you can choose Song Shield, which will make your Smart Heals grant a small temporary shield to the target. This will last 5 seconds and increase that person's defense. On the other hand, you can give damage to your party with Encouraging Note. This will give a 5% buff to all of your teammates' damage. While I use Encouraging Note usually for obvious reasons, the Song Shield can save one from boss special attacks, but only if you can send a Smart Heal to that player. So full health players can't usually be protected while in a group. At level 15, Solo will increase the healing of your healing effects by 20%. This will not affect the 5% bonus from the Instrument of Cure Wounds. Chorus will make your Instrument of Cure Wounds increase healing done from all sources by an additional 5%, which will make a 10% total. Unless playing with another healer, you should always use Solo, as all of your passive and crescendo heals will get a big boost. Chorus will affect everyone's heals, but only a bit more than normal. At level 20 we have my favorite talent, Upbeat. Notes from your songs will play 10% more quickly. On the other hand, you can get sheet music. Once every 10 seconds, you will receive a note that you missed. It is random and will even play notes that you already have a crescendo for, so it can't be focused on one instrument. For anyone that can handle it, I recommend Upbeat because it takes a couple seconds off your crescendos, also earning your badass super a little faster. Also, since the notes are faster, missing one note will actually be forgiven over time as you play the songs. At level 30 we have Encore. This will give a chance for notes to become empowered, greatly increasing the charge of their crescendo when struck. Each empowered orb counts as 1.5 notes. You can also use Symphony, allowing you to activate a 4th instrument, but the songs will all play at the same time, so some will overlap, requiring both mallets to play double notes. Because I'm not level 30 yet, I can't give a recommendation here, but I can still explain what these mean. Assuming you prioritize 2 healing orbs and the high damage orb, Symphony will help get crescendo heals out faster and deal high damage faster. This will also affect how often you get your ultimate, as it is achieved by using crescendos. Battle bards out there, but having a 4th instrument means an extra passive damage orb will double your passive damage and allow more damage crescendos to be used. On another note, this can be used to add even more buffing and debuffing from other instruments to ease the battlefield or help your teammates dodge and gain ult charge faster. Because of the low effects of the instruments of defense, protection, and speed, I don't usually use them in my hotbar. It usually holds the 2 healing and the 2 damage instruments. This way I can use what I need without accidentally moving my red orb onto a bad instrument. This way I can go into battle with the crescendo charge for big heal and 2 damages, with the red orb on big heal, so I can move it to the passive heal after I use it. There are also many other combinations that are each good for their own instances. I won't be adding any commentary to the gameplay video because of the intensity of this class. I have also re-anchored the xylophone to my right side so I can play with my right arm, while I throw mallets with my left arm. Oh, but you're gonna love this one. If you go into your menu and toggle weapon adjustment, and grab your mallet like this, and pull the trigger, when you pull your mallets out, they will be at the end of your fists. This way you can punch your notes, get some more exercise, and be a real badass bard.
Ask Chunky.
Yes,
Ask
sir.
this. Remember me, Roller Galax, on when I?
Oh my gosh, yes,
found
sir.
out-
I was actually gonna put
I
you
made
in
a
the.
whole other account for Ranger.
Oh wow. See, I'm actually going to
Yeah.
put you in my video at the beginning, as an intro.
Wait, really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. You and your
I'm
buddy
gonna be
are
in a
gonna be on the
YouTube
front
video.
screen. Yeah, you gotta tell your friend, man.
And they. Oh my god. He's gonna find out. I'm
Okay.
gonna keep it a surprise.
All right.